If you have a limited amount of space but still want to get fresh fruits and vegetables, I'm going to share with you my landscape garden this morning. So I have a few different plants in here that I'm pretty excited about. It's gone really well this summer. Now, we've had a super wet summer here in Kentucky, but I have been able to really take a small space and with some kind of creative landscaping and some creative trellising, the fruits and the vegetables have grown like better than I would have anticipated. So let me start with one of my favorites that I just used in my eggs this morning. So I have my cherry tomatoes. Now, these cherry tomatoes I'm actually so proud of because both of these large cherry tomato plants I propagated from a plant that I had last year. So I kept it over the winter indoors and didn't realize you can do this, but took a small branch about this size here, broke the branch off of the parent plant and took two of those, put them in soil and used a little bit of root grow. And over the next few weeks, they actually ended up sprouting roots and have got to the point where these are propagated from the parent plant. So they're huge and they are making all kinds of fresh tomatoes for me that are perfect for popping in my omelets, my salads, whatever. I love to cook with these. So I am continuing to grow these. Since we have had such a wet summer, got a little bit of damage on this one. Need to go through and prune that guy up, but I've got my tomato plants. And what I like to do is make sure that I've got a good rack for these to help support them so they don't fall out. You can see it's kind of getting a little, a little thick on this side. But those are my cherry tomatoes that I have propagated from the parent plant. And then, so that's my vegetables right now. My fruit, I've got some lavender in the back. That is a perennial. So put the lavender in last year and it has come back this year. It keeps growing for me. Regular landscaping, I just kind of worked around because I don't want this bed totally empty in the winter. So I've left a few small things that I trim back. You can see right now, it's pretty overgrown, but that's okay. If we come around here, so this guy, I'm so excited. This is a cantaloupe or a muskmelon plant, and this is one plant. I had no idea it was going to go so well. And a few weeks ago, my muskmelon, my cantaloupe, and my watermelon were all kind of a jumbled mess. So my husband had a beautiful idea. Let's create an A-frame trellis out of scrap wood. So this trellis, super simple, but we literally took scrap wood, created right about 4.5 feet tall or so. Whoop. You have a little visitor there, that's all right. Took some paracord to help with support. You could use netting too if you want, but it is starting to make it's starting to make cantaloupe for me. So if you kind of come in here close, you can see where the fruits are starting to develop, and you have to get down here with me because I'm so excited. I know it sounds silly, but this was the first cantaloupe that I saw come up, and it is almost ready for harvesting. Okay, so you'll see down in here, I've got a huge, it's a cantaloupe. So I know it sounds silly, but I get really excited about my fruits and my vegetables, especially when I've grown them from seed. So I started growing back in March from a seedling tray, and this was the only guy that survived from it because I had a little trouble with that. So I put him in the ground, and over time, it has become this beautiful, huge plant, really healthy. And what I like about this A-frame is it allows airflow underneath. This area in particular has a propensity to get some powdery mildew, but the airflow has really helped this year, and I haven't had that problem. And then finally, I have my watermelon. So these are going to be mini watermelons, and the trellis here is kind of the same idea. So this is a shorter trellis. It's only about 12 inches high, but it's more of a ladder trellis, and that's going to hold up the different vines. So there's about 3 watermelon plants there. So these are the teeny watermelons. They're going to be awesome. They're coming along, not quite as quickly as my cantaloupe or muskmelon, but they're making it. And you can see down here, I've got one of my first, Mary's kind of protecting one of my first baby watermelons here. So that is a way, this whole area is about 10 by 13. So it's not a huge area. The mulch actually helps a lot. It prevents some of the weeds coming up. It holds moisture in. One other thing I wanted to share. So if you are making a landscape garden, this retractable hose has been absolutely a lifesaver. I hate having hose everywhere, having to kind of roll it up and having a space for it. So this one, it took us maybe 5 minutes to mount it on the wall. And the cool thing is here that when you pull it out, it stops, so you can hold it there. But when you're finished, one hand pull, boom, it's done. Absolutely amazing. And I know it sounds silly too, but even the hose that it came with, the sprayer that it came with, has a bunch of different options that you can use to diffuse the water, to spread it out. So this morning it's fairly wet, but so many times I'll come out in the mornings, have my hose right here, and you can spray from here. So, but I love that you can kind of change that as you go to different hose and flip it off right there. So, okay, if you have a small space and you still want to try to grow your own fruits and vegetables, you can absolutely do that with your own home garden. So this is my mini watermelon plant.